Let's dive into a story, a really powerful one that might just completely change the way you think about trading. It's an idea that cuts right through all that get-rich-quick hype and gets down to the real, actual roots of long-term success.
I mean, you've seen it everywhere, right? Social media is just flooded with screenshots of these massive overnight wins. There's this idea being pushed constantly that trading is some kind of shortcut, a super fast track to easy money.
And yet, for most people who give it a shot, the reality is, well, it's totally different. There's this giant gap between the promise of quick cash and the actual experience of just burning out. So, what's really going on here? What are people missing?
Okay, so we're going to reframe this whole thing. I want you to stop thinking about trading as some lottery ticket you're just hoping will hit. Instead, let's look at it like a process of cultivation. It all starts with planting one single powerful seed.
And this brings us to a new metaphor, a completely new way to see the journey. Think of your trading career not as a sprint, but as the slow, deliberate, and powerful process of growing a tree.
So on one hand, you've got the quick money game, right? It's all about impulse. It's about impatience and wanting those instant results. But on the other hand, you have the growing a tree mindset. And this is all about patience. It's about process and building a super strong foundation first.
And here's the crucial part. Just like in nature, success follows a sequence, a process that you just can't rush. It has to start with learning. That learning leads to practice, which then builds real-world experience. And it's only after all that that you can even hope to find consistent profitability. It's so simple but so important. You can't get the fruit without the roots. Now, there is an amazing story that perfectly illustrates this whole idea of patience and foundational work. It's the parable of the Chinese bamboo tree. So the story goes, when you plant a Chinese bamboo seed, you have to water it and you have to nurture it every single day. You do this for a year, then 2 years, 3 years, all the way up to 5 years. And for that entire time, you see almost nothing happening above ground. Just stop and think about that level of commitment for a second. 5 full years of consistent daily effort with absolutely no visible reward for all your work. That takes an incredible amount of faith, right? Faith in the process. But here's the secret. What's happening underneath the surface is the most important part of the whole story. While it looks like nothing is going on, that little bamboo seed is building this massive, incredibly strong root system. It's getting ready for the explosion of growth that's about to come. And then, after that 5th year, something truly unbelievable happens. The bamboo tree just explodes out of the ground, growing up to 90 feet tall in just a few short months. And that just proves it, right? The incredible growth didn't happen in a few months. It happened because of 5 years of foundational work that nobody could see. So, okay, how does this apply to you, to trading? What does watering the seed and building your own root system actually look like in the real world? Your roots, they're the unglamorous, behind-the-scenes work. They are the hundreds and hundreds of hours you spend just studying charts, mastering your risk management, and maybe the hardest part, learning to control your own emotions when things get crazy. This is the work nobody else sees, but it's the work that your results absolutely depend on. In all this foundational work, it leads to this huge shift in your mindset. You stop trying to predict the market because, let's be real, that's impossible. Instead, you focus on what you actually can control, your preparation. You learn to just observe what the market is doing and adapt to it. And all that time studying charts, it's not about just staring at lines on a screen. No way. It's about developing a professional's intuition. It's how you learn to feel how price reacts at key levels, how you spot those tiny shifts in momentum, and this is a big one, how you know when the smartest trade you can make is no trade at all. You see, in the end, your success or your failure isn't going to be determined by some secret indicator or one lucky trade. It is the direct outcome of the mindset you choose to adopt from day one. It really just comes down to 2 paths. You've got the quick money mindset, which is always going to lead to gambling and impatience, and you know where that ends, disappointment. But if you adopt a professional skill mindset, you focus on learning, on discipline, and that is the only path that builds real, genuine, long-lasting confidence. And that professional mindset, it's built on just a few powerful pillars. A real commitment to always be learning, the patience of that bamboo farmer, the discipline to control your emotions, a rock-solid plan for managing risk, and finally, just consistent, dedicated chart study. These are the foundations of your tree. So the question I want to leave you with is this. When you sit down and you look at the markets, what are you really doing? Are you patiently putting in that unseen work, building your roots? Or are you just out there chasing the fruit?